Hey guys, this is Aegis, and this is a game from the Collegiate StarLeague. Here I have Sin Theo from the University of Tennessee, and his opponent is going to be Assassin from the University of Central Florida. This is a CSL Season 5, Week 1. This was played on the old patch, but Terran versus Zerg, not too much different. Perhaps a little bit on the fungal. Looks like we got a little bit of twitching from that drone to be able to do that double mining thing. What do we call that? Worker pairing. Assassin paying quite a bit of attention to that actually. Selecting and deselecting his units. We've got Sinfio here walling off up at the front. And of course, I do have another team league thing coming up for the American Pro League. Check it out on the website, on our website at mocktechcorp.net/APL. It's going to be played Pokemon style. You can check out the details over there. And as always, you can send me replays that you find are interesting at aegisstarcraft2@gmail.com. Overlord is going to be floating out, and of course, this is MLG Antigua Shipyards. Actually, no, this is not MLG. It's supposed to be MLG Antigua Shipyards, but it's going to be the Blizzard Ladder version. There's no supply depot, and they have spawned in close by air positions, sort of close by air positions. Um, so we've got a Terran versus Zerg here. And of course, they are vying for the top spot in their division to be able to continue on to the playoffs. We do have the expansion coming up for Assassin. We should be seeing a spawning pool shortly to be able to produce other units, of course. Sinfio getting up his gas. Everything looks plenty normal to me, unless I missed an early gas. I hope not. We have the first Marine on the way. Sinfio is going to be perhaps throwing down a tech lab or something on this barracks eventually. We do have the drone scouting up here. Spawning pool coming up for Assassin. And the Overlord is checking out that spot. Does not find his opponent. We've got mules now landing for Sinfio. He is getting up to that 100 minerals, and we should be seeing a factory coming down, as well as the reactor shortly thereafter. For that Hellion build, I see 100 minerals. There we go. 150 minerals, actually. Factory coming up for Sinfio. We should be seeing the reactor add-on as well. The SC of Marine Scout is actually getting in here, and Assassin is going to be getting a couple of Zerglings to help deal with this. Getting not too many Zerglings. Oh no, he's throwing out a Spinecrawler. So we'll probably watch for him to cancel this, as he'll notice that this isn't really an all-in pressure from Sinfio, and there's not that much of a risk. But the Spinecrawler, if he does let it finish, it will help out with the Reactor Hellions that are coming out. So quite standard for Zerg players to get that, so it's actually a good play here. I like to sometimes make fun of players too much for certain things. But we do have a factory switching over for the reactor, and we will be seeing those Hellions popping out shortly. A couple of Zerglings will be scouting forward, and the command center is also on the way for Sinfio. We'll see what kind of build he decides to go for after this. We do have the tech lab coming up, as to not delay the Stimpack or Combat Shield upgrades too much. We do have the Marines will be able to take care of those Zerglings if they decided to stay too long. The first two Hellions are going to be popping out. The Spinecrawler does finish, and a second one is on the way to better protect this mineral line. This is a very wide open area. The Hellions can actually easily run by here and try to do some damage in this area. And if there are enough of them, they can even try scooting into the main, but of course good control of queens will allow him to prevent that from happening. The Overlord is making its way over here right now. Assassin will be able to scout out this command center if Sinfio does decide to get his orbital command first. We also have the tech lab now on the way, reactor coming up on this factory, and a barracks now constructing on the first reactor. The starport will allow him to do some Hellion drops, so we'll see if that's something that he opts to do. Two Hellions up at the front. Not too sure what they're going to be able to do against this defense here. A couple of Zerglings out, as well as the Spine Crawlers will be able to easily prevent those Hellions from doing too much of a run by. The Overlord is going to be checking in here, and it does see the two orbital commands, and the Marines will be going after this Overlord. It will surely go down. It should have continued to fly in there to see exactly what it may have seen. Maybe it could have seen the starport or the Tech Lab Barracks over here. More information is always good, but anyways, we have the starport switching over. Going to be getting some medevacs out here in just a moment. Factory is going to be unutilized for a moment of time. Where are those Hellions? The Hellions have returned home, taking a little bit of damage. They can actually sit out here and continue to deny creep spread, which would be great for our Terran player, going to prevent that creep spread from getting too far. And we have the command center now taken, as well as a bunker on the way. This actually allows for more surround. It would have been better if he just placed them up here at the front. Another barracks coming up for this reactor over here. The starport will be switching back over. We'll see what he decides to do with these two additional tech structures. He's getting up a lot of barracks with those reactors, which will be great for dealing with the Mutalisks, which will soon be on the way, approximately 2 or 3 minutes away from that. Looks like we have a single drop here that's just 2 medevacs for the heal. We're going to be dropping off over here. We'll see how much damage he's able to do. Looks like he will be able to take down this one Overlord. And more Zerglings are going to be getting in here. The drone's also getting pulled off the line. We should be seeing a load up here to prevent those Marines from taking unnecessary damage. Looks like we did lose a couple of Marines. Did deny mining time for a little bit of time, as well as possibly kill off a few drones. 2 workers killed by Sinfio, I actually don't know how to say his name. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Idle SCV over here hanging out. A couple of extra structures coming down. Engineering bay coming up as well. Looks like Assassin will be sitting back for a short bit of time. We'll see if he's able to deal with exactly what Sinfio is trying to do. And oopsie daisy. I accidentally tabbed out of StarCraft for just a moment. Sinfio is climbing up to 80 food, so Assassin is actually surprisingly behind. Just by macro, I'm not sure how Sinfio got so far ahead without doing anything. We have Mutalisks now on the way. This will help contain our Terran player to 2 bases. We'll see how Assassin handles those Mutalisks. It's all dependent on how good his micro is, and it looks like Sinfio is going to be pushing out with his Marine tank army. We have a couple of Marines left behind to help deal with the Mutalisk harass that is coming up. Sinfio now advancing into the middle of the field, and I'm going to have to figure out what's lagging this right now. I'm going to pause this and come right back. Alright, so we're back into this game. I had to pause it to figure out what was lagging the game. I guess I had way too many other windows open. It looks like a little bit of creep. Maybe. Nope, not denied. Looks like Sinfio is going to be backing right up to help deal with those mutas. Looks like the mutas will be headed in here. A couple of turrets are up. Looks like the mutas will be engaging that turret directly. That's not a good thing to do anytime. Looks like a couple of SCVs will be taken out. Those were idle SCVs anyways. They did not deserve to live. Assassin going to be cleaning them up. Punishment for those SCVs for hanging out outside of the range of that turret. Looks like they will be able to do some damage to that engineering bay. He needs to get those Marines over there. Lower the depots so that they can get through. Looks like 1 Mutalisk was lost in that exchange. Almost getting that engineering bay. Another turret coming up for Sinfio. We have the Zergling Baneling army over here. The mutas are going to be poking in here, perhaps take out yet another SCV. There's a missile turret over here. Looks like the engineering bay will be able to finish up the +1 attack upgrade, as well as the +2 armor, as there are now Marines reinforcing this position. And we have the 3rd command center started by Sinfio, and additional supply depots coming up over here, making sure that he does not get supply blocked throughout this harassment. 3 turrets over here, a little bit of overkill, but he doesn't want to lose any of those add-ons, so that's a good play here. It looks like we have a couple of medevacs moving out. I have no idea where those are going. That is not a good idea. Those medevacs need to back up here right away. The Marines stemming up and running forward. Looks like the Mutas will soon be confined to just defending as the Terran army is now moving across the field. They have taken control of this watchtower, and the third base is floating over to the location. The Mutas are going to be headed into the Terran main. There are turrets all over the place. Additional barracks and factory coming up for Sinfeo, and looks like the Marine tank army now getting in here. Scan going down. There's a couple of banelings as well as the Zerglings. The Sea Shanks have sieged up. The Marines just need to hang by those Sea Shanks, and the Mutalisks now backing up. Looks like the Marines trying to chase after those mutas. A couple of mutas do take some damage, but not too much damage dealt. But the third base is soon to be placed down for Sinfeo. There is a single Zerglings actually denying that location. Looks like the Sea Shanks will be able to siege up in this location. A couple of mutas sacrificing themselves for the good of the Zerg. Swarm and Assassin now at 130 food to Sinfeo's 140 food. He could have just brought one Marine over here to clean up that Zergling, but it looks like he definitely wants to secure this expansion. The Mutas are going to be coming over here. A couple of Marines are at the ready. Looks like the Sea Shanks will be under fire. The Marines do get ready to attack, and it looks like the one Sea Shank does get taken out. The Mutas will allow him to take down additional Sea Shanks over here, losing a couple of Mutas there, and looks like the crunch in from the Zerglings and the Banelings. We'll see if those Banelings are able to connect. It's just pure bio here. And Felix Assassin could have pressed the issue a little bit more and done some Baneling splashes, but additional units are out for Sinfeo, ready to defend. Another Sea Shank as well as a Thor. More Sea Shanks on the way for Sinfeo. He's also got his third base up. The Mutas are going to be running in here straight into a brick wall of those turrets. They are not going to be able to harass this location whatsoever. And the Terran army is still continuing to stay back a little bit to be able to take care of those mutas, but the muta count is starting to get a little bit low. Infestation Pit is on the way for our Zerg player. More Banelings coming up. Missile attacks, and looks like more mutas running straight into those missile turrets. Sinfeo is going to be backing up into a defensive position, and the Zerglings and the Banelings are looking to do a little bit of pushing, but I'd like to see Assassin just take another base. There it is, another base coming up, as well as the, never mind, I thought that was a gold base, but he should be taking this location. There it is. Real soon he can even take this location. Nope, nothing coming up over there. Looks like the Muta's trying to harass a couple of add-ons over here. Looks like that will... something was canceled over there. I think I saw something canceled. Looks like the Marines over here will help defend against those mutas. And Assassin going to be running those mutas right over those Marines once again. And they're going to be forced to back up. A fourth base is on the way. A couple of units running in here. It looks like the Marines are out of position to defend this command center. But they soon will be back. A couple of rocks going to be broken down over here, and the Zerglings from Assassin will be able to freely run through the space. However, there is a planetary fortress, so it's going to be really difficult to actually bust this down, and the Terran army is also in place, but this does give him an open avenue for attack. Pulling the Terran player between these three openings as well as the main base would be a good play to do, but it looks like the Terran army is mighty scary right now, going to be pushing out across the map. The Marines going to be shooting away a couple of those units over there. It looks like the Zerg army is trying to posture itself to be able to press against this Terran army, but it's tightly grouped up over here. The Marines also in position, and the Simpack hasn't gone down just yet. The Muta's trying to take out a couple of those Sea Shanks, and a Thor going to be sitting back as well. One more Sea Shank goes down. Assassin doing a great job of keeping the tank count low, to allow his Zerglings to be able to do the damage necessary, and the two Sea Shanks were actually wide open just a second ago. Sinfeo continuing to climb the food ladder up to 189 food right now. Hive is on the way for our Zerg player. No infestors out in the field, surprisingly. He needs to get those out as soon as possible to lock those Marines down and clean them up with his Banelings. 196 food for Sinfeo. Most of it is actually Marines. He's going to be taking the gold base over here, and a couple of Zerglings going to be running by here, but Terran reinforcements will be able to take care of those units quite easily. And the Marines going to be backing up over here. It looks like the Zerglings and the Banelings are going to be engaging in this position. None of the Banelings connect. Did you see that? The Marines just wiped out all of those Banelings. And Assassin now falling to 135 food. Looks like he is in a really bad position right now. He is up to 3 bases as his natural is mining out. Actually, we'll call it 4 for now. He is rapidly dwindling to 3 bases. Looks like the Banelings do connect with some of that Bioforce, but it looks like it's just not quite enough. The Sea Shanks and the Marines easily cleaning up everything over here, and Assassin is in a pretty horrible position. A couple of Zerglings doing a run by over there, and the Marines going to be stimming up and taking out both of those Spine Crawlers very easily. And in comes the Terran army. It looks like this expansion will be falling. Assassin is down to 3 bases now. He needs to get cancel this Greater Spire. Perhaps start morphing a lair over here if he wants to stay in this. We've got additional Zerglings spawning. All of the tech structures are going to be going down over here shortly, and all of these drones are in trouble as well. Sea Shanks siege up in a very nice position. The drones will be able to get out of here and continue mining another day, but Sinfeo is so far ahead as of this point. Assassin maybe it was the first week jitters of playing a tournament match, but I think I've seen Assassin play in CSL before. If maybe there are multiple Assassins, but here comes the Terran army cleaning up the main, and we should be seeing a Spire. Looks like a Spire has been started over here. Spawning pool coming up as well. Assassin is just restarting from ground zero, whereas Sinfeo has actually grabbed the gold expansion and is mining fully. No mules yet. GG from Assassin, and this game it goes to Sinfeo from the University of Tennessee. I hope that's correct. We're going to be going into game 2.